I don't usually do, which is a landscape. Um, I bought this himi gouache and it just, look how messy it got. Um, I have to keep it straight and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a very good job of keeping it straight, so I gotta use all that paint. Like, I saw this photo that I took a while ago for, there was a beautiful sky, and then I thought, okay, I can use that yellow and orange there. So I'm gonna do that today. Let's see. I'm gonna still try to keep it fairly loose because that's my style, and I really like painting loose. So I'm kind of getting frustrated with this getting mush like that. I like keeping my colors nice and tidy, but it's kind of annoying. So I'm holding my brush from the tip. So it gives me that loose wrist to paint. And then you can use this. You can use this. Color to kind of blend that in. Very bright color layer. So I'm gonna put some bit on that. Smooth that out a little bit. And then I'm going to use a mix of silver and blue and paint sprays. I'm gonna mix that up here. Make it some white. Still try to keep it loose. Add lots of water there so it makes a nice little pool. This is just the color blocking stage, and then we'll build all these colors after, but for now I'm just gonna don't make this at all. And my colors are all mixed up in the palette. Okay, so for the bottom, I'm going to add some trees. But before I do that, let's sort of block that area first. Okay, I'm gonna block that up, kind of like that. And the top of it is cooler, so if you have warm light, your shadows will be cooler. if you have cool light, then your shadows will be warm. Something to note. Okay, just one of those rings. So my sky, as it goes farther from the sun, it's going to get cooler. So I'm going to try to use the cool blues. Walking stage, and now I'm going to add my trees. Come back to this. Cover those whites in the corners. Make sure everything is covered nicely. I'm going to switch to my sky. Okay, we're going to switch to finer tip, and now I'm going to mix a dark green on my palette with, let's do a little bit of Payne's gray, and then maybe a little bit of red to make it super dark. Ready? And then we can add our trees here. I think I want them darker, so I'm going to add, this is purple, really dark purple, even darker, so I'm going to add more red to my green. Okay. And then I'm going to add some trees. Very gentle with this. So the reference photo that I'm using is something I took. I think it was a while ago actually, but the sky just looks so pretty. And I thought, I have a lot of photos on my phone that I take and then I think, oh, this would make a great painting, and then I forget about it. So this one is one of those that I had taken a long time ago, and then I was like, oh, I should paint this today. Something very gentle pressure with that tip. It's just so super quiet here, and it's so nice. Sorry, doesn't seem like work for me. Making art. I lost my reference photo. Gonna pull it up. Alright, there we go. And these little lines. Use just a little bit of water because my brush is getting super dry and thirsty, so I'm gonna give it some there. You don't want to cover all the shapes and all the areas with color because then it kind of loses the details. I have to finish an oil painting today. Hopefully it doesn't super pending. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop with the trees. I'm gonna work on that sun a little bit. And the clouds. So, we'll take our light and put it in the center. You can see how it makes it pop. And I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow on there. Right on the glue. Okay, clean my brush. Just the center. Just like a yellow around it. There we go. And then there's like this color, like a haze almost around it. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit. Okay, now we can build those clouds and add some depth to them. So let's make them darker. And make them pop. Okay. I feel like I have to step back a little bit to see what's happening here. Just smooth that out a little bit. Make those shapes need to be a little softer. I'm gonna mix some white with that Payne's gray and add some clouds in the distance. So we get that. Little, oops, sorry, not that color, Payne's gray. Not too much water. Gotta clean my brush. And so we mix that up. There's some white spots left. Take a closer look at this. So this is super easy. That didn't take me that long to do. It was all just playing with values, super pretty. Okay, so we're gonna place that to dry, and then I'm gonna switch. Make sure the color goes over right. Glaze there. Let's see if I can do that. That's coming through. Amazing. Okay, so those of you who are just joining in, welcome to the live session. I went to a museum yesterday and I made some sketches, and they had a bee exhibit. So I made these. There's a bee exhibit, and then I kind of sketched this using my gouache. I finished this one, very, very happy with how this turned out. So I'm going to save that one. Stay here. And this one I gotta finish. So I just finished this guy, so we're gonna leave that to dry. Stay there. And we'll finish this bee. What I realized is I used the wrong kind of glue on it, so I'm gonna use this glue, and we're just gonna kind of do some almost like splatters on her. So let's do that together. I'm gonna splatter the blue with more blue. Water. There we go. Kind of works nicely with the complementary orange around. Okay. No, I kind of splattered this guy too. Okay, hold on, let me fix that. We don't want you to have splatters. But it's super easy to fix. I'm just gonna fix the splatters on that. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now let's kind of work on the background a little bit. I've got this really nice yellow orangey color, but I'm gonna mix some pink in it. I think. Let me think on it. I need to build that background color a little bit, so maybe let's just build her antennas a little bit first. Make it stand out slightly. There we go. And then all the colors on her in the back. And build that up a little bit there. And then for the background, I wonder if I could do it like a peachy pink, like what's happening here with my pink I got. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's do that. Let's kind of color it this pink peach color on it. Hints of pink to go around. I love this pink. Looks really good here. But I realized this sketch is missing some text. I like adding text. So maybe we should do that. How about I'm gonna make the food popular because she's getting lost in let's make her put the yellows. And then for her wings, this wings. There we go. And I'm gonna fix her eyes slightly. Give her more shape. Lost in there. And then for her body, use a little bit of browns in there too. Kind of, because she has stripes. And you want some brighter yellows to make her body pop. There we go. That's really better. It was missing. And now is a stamp. How about we use from me to you, and maybe a limited edition. What else we got? Let's see. Oh, we could use for you. Let's do that. Maybe for you, right there. How about a purple? What do you think? Should we try a purple? That's how I've been stamping lately. I color my stamp with the gouache, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like. Once I stamp my I'm going to cover it as much as I can. Also don't want to lose too many details in there. So make sure it's covered. Okay. We'll see what happens when we do this. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully I got it all covered properly. Over here, let's do press on gently. Sort of make sure that I got everything. Yeah. Amazing. That looks great. I am going to use a little, oh my gosh, look at all that. This is super frustrating that himi did that. So that means either like, I'll have to figure out, maybe I put a lid on it or something so it doesn't move around like that. top and then close it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what I have to do. Okay. I'm gonna do pops of purple because I feel like it needs purples. I'm gonna finish that up. Some purple, not too much. Just a little bit of purple here and there. And then, using my ink, shake it up. I've got a white ink. I am going to use my calligraphy pen. Let me just take it out. It's a glass pen. If I can find it, where did I put it? Okay, there it is. So I've got a glass pen, and that's what I'm going to use to dip it in my white calligraphy ink. Oh, my pen was very dirty. Looks like it picked up some previous inks on it. So we'll clean that up. And then we'll dip it in our white ink again. And then we'll go around slightly. Don't want too much of that there. There you go. It's better. Much better. Gonna drop her eyes. Highlights in her eyes. Perfect. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this now. We got two bees. Which one do you like more? This one or this one? Or both? I'm kind of digging both at this moment, but I like them. Yay! So I'm going to put this guy away so it can dry out. And I'm gonna make that sun a little brighter with this one. I'm gonna drop my ink in the middle. The sun to stand out slightly. And here that looks like okay. Yep, that's good. And then I'll just spread it around a little bit. There we go. Just little highlights here and there. Pure white. Okay, perfect. This little painting is also done. What are we looking at for time? Let's see. Okay. Do I have time for another one? These little paintings, guys, are going to be available at an event soon. So I gotta do so many of these. Alright, for the next one, let's pick. I'm just going through my phone right now to see which painting I can do next as a reference. How about we do something from life? We could do this teapot. You want to do this teapot together? Because I love this teapot. It won't be the first time I'm doing this, but I really like this a blob to sketch. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do my teapot. Commit with my paint. And then we go ahead and shape there. There's a shape there. Just quickly sketching it is what I'm doing right now. There you go. So a really quick teapot sketch, and now we're going to start filling it in. So what color should I do? Should I stick with the color that I see? Or should I make it something else? Should I make it happy? But maybe because I have a lot of yellow color, maybe I'll try with the yellow. And I'll show you, like, it doesn't really matter as long as you can read the values. Doesn't matter what color you pick. Just have to get your values properly. Okay, so the darkest area, I'm going to lock those in. Okay, there's some shadows there, something on the handle, right? And now we're going to go ahead and use different color in other areas. So I'm going to go lighter in the other areas. I want to thin out my yellow a little bit. Thinned out. It's not thinned out at all. Maybe I'll add a little bit of light to that. Clean my brush. I think I'll add some polka dots after. Let's take some purple to make the shadow there. Add some form to it. Add some form here. There's the shadow there. There's some shadows here. Dark shadow. I'm gonna get into an even darker shadow. Let's just keep it so it's going somewhere there. And for that orange out. So it's like a Rapunzel color scheme happening here. take some purple at this point and splatter it with some purple. Some shadows are forming here. White shadows here. Shadows here. Charming little teapot is coming together very nicely. I need to put some polka dots on it. What color should I put? Should I play it safe and put like a white or something? Or should I put purples or reds? Or greens even. Maybe I'll play it safe for the teapot, but then I will do something funky for the background. How about? Let's do that. The little teapot has been featured in many of my paintings, and I'm so happy because I just love polka dots. And when I saw this teapot, it was just like I need to have it. Something so charming about it. Going to one of these. The heights. And then the shadow needs to prove almost like a block shadow. I'm going to go farther on shadows. Get lighter. to bring it together nicely. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my liner to outline my little teapot. So I've got two kinds. I've got brush pen and I also got this little fine tip Stedler pen. But I think if I want it to be more whimsy, I think I should use the brush pen. It's for illustration and such, so I'm gonna try to do that. Let's see if I can do that. If it's like your ink is messing up there, then just add a little bit of white to clean that up. Okay, so that's good. And then for the background, let's finish that up. I think what I want to add is, what should I add for the background? I could make it red and make it really pop. Or should I keep it? I think I should make it pop because everything else is slightly like muted in terms of color palette. So let's make that pop. I'm gonna add some orange to that. Do you want to color everything? Certainly not. And that. Perfect. And then for the outer side of it, I can add some darker red. Kind of like a vignette. Make a frame around it. You know. Give a sort of hint that there's a frame around it. Okay, perfect. That looks good. Do you want to line my polka dots? Don't want to touch the paint with the marker. wonder if I did a stamp on the wet paint, what would that do? I can try. Let me see what that happens. What does that do? Oh, that's amazing. So, there you go. That looks great. So today we did, let me show you. We finished a bee, we finished the teapot, and we kind of also finished this little painting. I feel like I'm gonna work on that sky a little bit later, but yeah. Thank you everyone for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and we will paint again.